Hello, this is that fantasy chick. Finally here after some technical difficulties. My goodness, thought I wasn't going to make it. At the last minute. This is why you don't do upgrades. Because I did an upgrade on my camera and didn't realize I had to do an upgrade on my computer until it was time to go live because the camera was not showing on the computer. So, long story short, I'm here. Uh, After a lot of figuring out and futzing around. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about Superman and Lois and another episode of Gotham Knights. But first, before I talk about those two things, I wanted to talk about this thing I saw about Dwayne Johnson and Shazam and about the after credit scene. Of course, I have two articles regarding his him not wanting to do the after credits articles, the after credits scene for Shazam. So let me share that. Where are we? Okay, it was for Black Adam, not for Shazam. Okay, The Rock apparently vetoed a Shazam-centric post-credit scene for Black Adam. Black Adam ends with a character meeting Superman instead of his DC comic rival. There could have been a link between Black Adam and Shazam, but it didn't happen. A new report claims Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam may have actually changed the hierarchy of power in the DC universe as he claimed it would, but not in the way it was originally intended. Instead, he may have blown it up completely, whether he planned to or not. The rap claims that Johnson, star and producer of Black Adam, privately vetoed a planned post-credit scene in Black Adam, which would have seen Shazam recruited by Aldous Hodge's Hawkman and other costume heroes into the Justice Society of America. Such a scene would have crucially linked that film to the next one on DC's plate, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which is now in theaters. Instead, Johnson wanted his character to change the hierarchy of power in the DC universe, and so he went above and beyond for his character to meet not his comic book rival, but a much more popular, iconic character in Superman, played by Henry Cavill. The move was adored by fans, but not so much by the higher-ups at DC, who quickly moved to announce that despite the implications of the Black Adam scene, Cavill would not be returning. IO9 reached out to Warner Brothers for possible comment or clarification on this, and will update the story if or when we hear back. But if you've seen Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and specifically its end-credit scene, which bears a more than striking similarity to the one described above, you know the evidence is there. There's a lot to consider here, especially when you go back and remember that it was Johnson who pushed for a Black Adam solo movie in the first place. But one thing stands out above the rest. It's the possibility that with this one move, Johnson may have unintentionally or intentionally dismantled the DC universe moving ahead and done a huge disservice to Shazam Fury of the Gods well before it was released. By vetoing a connection to Shazam, a character that was returning to theaters for sure, and teasing the return of Superman, who was not, he may have been too focused on a film that was purely hypothetical, Black Adam versus Superman, instead of being a team player and teeing up what DC already had planned for the next year, even before the new team of James Gunn and Peter Safran came in. Now, would Shazam's appearance in Black Adam, a film that was not a huge success, have improved the reception of Shazam Fury of the Gods? Probably not, but you have to guess it wouldn't have hurt it. You can read more about this over on the Wrap. But below, tell us your best what if. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So, now there's, of course, as we say, the Hollywood Reporter likes reports people's tweets and whatnot. Zachary Levi weighed in on this. So Zachary Levi backs report that Dwayne Johnson nixed post-credit scene in Shazam Fury of the Gods. Okay. The truth shall set you free. So that's where, so IO9 said it was Black Adam, and the Hollywood Reporter is saying it's Shazam Fury of the Gods. One of these two, is it one or is it both? Let's see. The truth shall set you free, Levi wrote on Instagram. Zachary Levi was casting Thunderbolts Tuesday after a report circulated that Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson blocked characters from The Rock's film showing up in a post-credit scene in Levi's Shazam Fury of the Gods. It was already known that members of Black Adam's Justice Society of America were originally slated to appear in Fury of the Gods, with filmmaker David F. Sandberg telling the Hollywood Reporter that the scene fell apart 3 days before we were going to roll cameras, forcing him to find alternate characters last minute. On Tuesday, The Wrap reported that Johnson blocked the characters from appearing in Fury of the Gods, and that the actor and producer also nixed a potential Levi cameo in Black Adam. So it's both. Both is true. What? In an Instagram story Tuesday, Levi shared a post mentioning The Wrap's reporting, and he added his own commentary. The truth shall set you free. Black Adam was a passion project for Johnson, who lobbied to have the classic Shazam antagonist receive his own spin-off movie rather than being included as the villain in 2019 Shazam. The star and producer was also instrumental in bringing Henry Cavill back as Superman in the cameo for Adam. Yet when it was released in October, Black Adam disappointed at the box office. Soon after, DC underwent a leadership change that effectively killed chances for more Black Adam in the DC universe, while also ending Cavill's short-lived revival as Superman. Fury of the Gods, meanwhile, also disappointed at the box office upon release last week, making the chances of a third Shazam all but impossible. Levi, for his part, has been a vocal defender of the film, wrote the actor on Twitter Monday. I think the biggest issue we're having is marketing. This is a perfect family movie, yet a lot of families aren't aware of that, which is just a shame. It is a good movie it's a movie about family, and it's a movie for families. I will say that. I will say that. So, oh, wow. So that is interesting. So Dwayne Johnson nixed two post-credit scenes one for Black Adam and the other for Shazam Fury of the Gods. And he also separated himself from Shazam, period. Because I do remember hearing that, when we first heard that Dwayne Johnson was going to be cast as Black Adam, that Black Adam was supposed to be a villain for Shazam, and then all of a sudden he had his own movie. I thought that I didn't realize that that was his doing. Um, yeah, he might have shot himself in the foot there. He might have shot himself in the foot there. Um, he should have connected himself more to Shazam because that's his world. That's where he belongs. I mean, he got his powers from this in the same exact place. That's where he belongs. So I don't know why he wanted to separate himself from Captain Marvel. Um, but yeah, so and I like Dwayne Johnson, but this has been I don't know. This has been very interesting because I did like Black Adam, but I think that the way he's been handling it has is just not advisable. It's kind of a cautionary tale. So, on to more DC properties. Superman and Lois. Um, Yesterday, Superman and Lois tried to get me to feel feelings, like actual feelings. Like they had me be like, I can't tell you. Oh, the character that this. Oh, I'm not even gonna do it. But it was a cartoon character, but I couldn't remember what movie it was from. But it's an animate, not cartoon character, but animated character, where the guy he was being emotional and the tear was coming down and he was like, get back up in there, get back up in there. And that's how I was feeling yesterday. Like, no, y'all are not about to get these G's tears. Not on a TV show. No. But so yesterday, let's see. So yesterday the kids are off for school. Instead of having a snow day, they had a mold week where they're out of school until the school gets rid of black mold that is all over their school. And they decided to go to a party in Metropolis. So it was the girls separately and the boys. And the boys decided to fly there because they wouldn't be able to drive and be back in time, because whereas the girls could be back by midnight, the boys had to be back by the time the street lights came on. So they did not have the leeway the girls did. So they decided to fly there and come back. Um, so you had all the little different teenage dramas. Um, I can't remember none of these kids' names. I can remember Jordan and Jonathan's name, but the girls. Okay, so little black girl went to this party because because there was a boy from her world that she had a crush on, and he exists in this world at that house. But when they got there, they realized he was kind of a jerk and he's already taken. So um, she moved on to someone else, and he was nicer. He ended up being someone who noticed her from her one day at Metropolis High. I'm about to say Metropolitan. Metropolis High. She was there for one day and he remembered her and he was like, you was this mystery girl. I tried to find you and all this other stuff. And so They're hanging out. Jordan and his ex are hanging out. At first, he tried to avoid her, but they ended up hanging out and irking the hosts because they were, you know, gambling and they won. And so this starts a big, huge fight amongst all the little kids and and the little girl. She throws her drink in the face, and I'm like, first of all, she was standing 10 toes down, yelling in that boy's face because she knew Jordan was little Superboy. And she knew that no matter what happened, she had Superboy on her side. If she didn't have Superboy, she would not have been so, yelling up in his face and throwing drinks in his face. And it's like, something, if you're not the one with the powers, don't be the one throwing around insults. So, but she was standing 10 toes down on somebody else's powers. And so because she threw the drink in his face, everybody had to leave. And so, little black girl left without giving her number to the black boy. I guess that's probably gonna come up again at some point because they made such a big deal out of it. And he came in looking for her too after they had gone. It was kind of sad. Um, and the other boy, his ex girlfriend had invited them there in the first place, and he thought that they were just friends, but she was trying to get back with him. He was like, "Oh, made a mistake. I got a girlfriend. I thought we were just friends. I thought we were just fine." So, those kids on the other side with the actual adults, you have the mother realizing her daughter lied to her. And so the father, whose daughter actually told him the complete truth, the reason why he gave her the midnight curfew, because she told him the absolute truth, beginning to end. So he gave her a midnight curfew. And so he invited Lana in to have dinner. They have dinner, and then she's discussing that earlier she had heard the old mayor, basically he was murdered on while she was on the phone with him. So they're discussing that, and they discuss him saying something about the pride of Smallville, and they were like, "Oh, where have we seen this before?" And she was like, "Oh, I think I might have seen it somewhere at the office." So they go to the office. It's on the crest, and so John goes behind the crest and finds this flash drive, and she puts the flash drive into the computer. The moment it goes into the computer, there's an earthquake and a rumbling and the noise starts happening, and John is like, "What is that?" And Lana's like, "That's the noise I heard when George died, and the little rose face thing that killed George and that killed that other thing um, that was fighting Superman the other week, showed up, and it didn't kill them, but it like made the sound so loud that it stressed out what is happening. I'm talking about Superman and Lois. And it made the sound that's so loud that it stressed, it basically hurt their ears. Their ears popped or whatnot. And and so while they were on the ground rolling around, from like the noise was so loud it like burst glass all around them and everything, the rose face thing came and took the flash drive, and then she went to, I think his name is Bruno. I forget people's names. Bruno Mannheim. I forget. I think it's Bruno Mannheim. She went to Bruno Mannheim and was like, "John Henry Irons is still alive." So they think John is the John from this world who's dead, but but he's not. So now they're going to be after him. And and then of course the big thing that gave me, the feelings was uh Lois. Lois finally telling Superman what was wrong with her all along, because she's been in this funk throughout this whole episode. And um, this judge who they had tried to figure out why she set this dude free early. She basically was the whole interview was shut down, and somebody came and was like, "This interview's over." And when after these people left, the judge went on the roof and was getting ready to kill herself. So Lois was trying to literally talk her off the ledge. And so while she's trying to talk her down, she basically, tells the woman with Superman hovering above her that she has cancer. And so then after that, she gets the woman off the ledge, and then her and Superman, everybody else goes inside, and her and Superman have a moment, they hug. And then later on, the boys finally come back home from their little adventures, and then she tells the boys, and that's when it really broke me, when she tells the boys, because they have this whole, the sound goes out, and so you can't really hear her saying the words, but you can sort of see it on their faces. And they both sort of get up at the same time and then just go around and hug her. And it's just like this family moment where they're all hugging her. And I was like, you're not going to get me to feel emotions right now. But I think it was probably triggering for me, because those boys are like 16, and I went through the same thing at about 14, because she has breast cancer. And about when I was about 14, my mom had breast cancer, so I had to go through that same thing. But I can't remember. I feel like when mom said it, she said it was a whole group of us in a room together when she told us. And I don't remember. But it's like, I don't know. This was years ago, but seeing that triggered that emotion for me. So I was like, they got me feeling feelings. So Superman and Lois, oh, they like to make you feel. Okay, so that's enough for Superman and Lois. So now they're starting to put people together. Now Lana is starting to hang with John a lot, and her husband is starting to hang with what's her name? I guess her name is Chrissy. I think her name is Chrissy. I should know that. I should know that. I should remember that the newspaper chick. They're starting to hang together. They had a one night stand, but they're still gravitating together. And but like, I feel like these are starting to probably going to be the things that the groups that we're going to see throughout this season, throughout these storylines that plays out, especially through this whole Bruno Mannheim mess that's going to come and knock them all out. Because I don't know what he's doing or what he's trying to achieve, but in the midst of all of this, he thinks that John is his John Henry Irons. So he's going to come to Smallville looking for him. So that's going to draw everybody into some mess. So that will be interesting. Okay, on to Gotham Knights. So, Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights is hard on my blood pressure because it's the stakes are always super high. It is always there. The tension is always high on that show, and they're always almost getting caught. And I don't know if I can take it. Like I said, I don't know if I can take a whole season of this. So they're like, they decided in order for them to get, evidence that the Court of Owls is behind all of this mess going on, the actual people who killed Bruce Wayne / Batman. They needed to break into Wayne Tower and steal Bruce Wayne's journals because he would have been writing about it. So the boy Turner, he knew exactly he had the whole plan down, and it was actually a good plan. It was like when he broke it all down, it was like, oh, it was very simple. All they had to do was steal a car, get into the garage, and get into his private elevator, and boom, they're inside. So, which they did, but somehow the Court of Owls knew that they were there, and they sent the Talon, I guess that's what they're going to call him, the Talon, to come. And that's the guy who came and took off all these cops' heads, the cops who failed to kill them. They took off all their heads. And now, of course, because they were all murdered, everybody who's in on it is like, oh yeah, those kids killed those cops too. And I'm just like, at some point, people ought to start going, these kids killed Batman and all these cops, and they're children. Like, somebody ought to say this people really need to start rejecting these ideas. You can't, if the public does not accept these ideas, they can't keep selling them. Why is everybody accepting these dumb ideas? Like, I would never, if I lived there, if I lived in Gotham, I would not accept that these children killed Batman and 6 cops. But anyway, I digress. So they sent the Talon after them. So they had to hurry up, get the journals. The girl who's the Joker's daughter, I forget her name because I can't remember anybody's name. The girl who's the Joker's daughter, she basically stranded them, took the car, and just jerked out. So the other 2 who was in the car waiting for them had to come up into the elevator after them, and the police were coming at them in the garage, so they can't come back down. There's the guy, the Talon is upstairs. So they have no way out. But Robin is there, and Robin was like, we're going to what do you call it? Go from one building to the go on the wire, take the wire from one building to the other, and that's how they get away. And while they're getting away, and they're like, I can't believe she let us get away. I mean, she left us there. And they realized that she was probably going to fence her fence the watch she got from the Court of Owls, and it was like she's probably not going to get a good price for it because it's engraved. And then Turner again, he's like, this is his episode to be the smart one. He was like, it depends on the engraving. And then all of a sudden, so because of that, he realized the Court of Owls is going to come for her because of that watch. So they go to the fence and they save her from the Talon, because the Talon had locked her in a burning car, and was going to leave her to burn alive. But they came, and he had taken a sword from Bruce Wayne's office. So when they when they got there, the Talon, of course, has this long sword. So he started fighting him with the sword, because they had already established that he was like this big, fencing champion. So it made it realistic that he could fight this assassin. He couldn't win, but he could at least fight him off because he has some skill. So he was able to fight him off, and then the Batgirl used some bat gadget and knocked him back a few feet, and they were able to get away, and blah 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 blah. So they went back to their little hideout, and the little Joker's daughter was all meek and mild, and wanted to started to thank them for coming back for her. And they was like, thank Turner. He's the one who realized you were in trouble. So she went and she thanked him. And then they realized he was going through the Bruce Wayne's last journal, and the last few pages had been ripped out. He was like, somebody didn't want me to see what was in these pages. And then they show Robin going back to her house, and she's pulling out the pages, and the last words was saying something about what if Turner something about if Turner should ever find out, or if Turner should never find out. Basically, like, he doesn't want whatever it said. He doesn't want Turner to find out. So I guess she was protecting Bruce by ripping out those pages. But I'm like, he gonna find out. Bruce is dead. I don't know what you're doing. It's like, this is life or death. What are you doing? But that is all for that show. Oh, most important thing. I forgot the most important thing. You discover that his version of Alfred, the female butler, the woman butler, she's with the Court of Owls. So the person who he truly trusted and thought was going to take care of him, she was one of the people who's trying to get him murdered. So he can't really trust nobody. Nobody in his life. So I wonder why they revealed that so soon, because I feel like that's something that they could have held on to for a little while longer. But so I wonder what is the purpose of revealing her connection to the Court of Owls so soon. I guess maybe they needed somebody to stand in for the Court of Owls who wasn't the Talon, and I guess maybe she plays that part. But again, I don't know if my blood pressure is going to be able to take these episodes. Um, every single week, the stakes are high, the tension is high. They're going to be almost getting caught every time they do something. So I don't know. I do not know if I can take it for another, what is this, another 11 episodes. But we're going to try to stick through it. We're going to try to stick through it to see. I mean, I got to at least see how this season ends. Because I got to see them at least, I hope they clear their name after this season. Because I can't see them continue to be on the run for multiple seasons. I just can't. I can't deal with that. If they don't clear their name by the end of this first season, um, I can't. I won't be able to deal with that. But so that is all for today. Today is Wednesday. Um, I don't think there's an episode of The Flash today. I don't know why, but I don't think there's an episode of The Flash today. Um, but I'm gonna double check. I think the next episode doesn't come on until next week. But Friday is another Smallville video, so look out for that. And thanks for watching.